Hi, I'm Liz Hammond.
And I'm Katie Priest.
Together we have a combined 15 years of experience teaching English and 3 master's degrees focused on grading strategies. We're here to share all of that research with you.
For so long in my career, when I told people my occupation, they'd look at me with a pitying glance and ask why I ever chose to teach high school English. I'd always reply with an enthusiastic, "I love my job," while also cringing inwardly at the thought of the pile of essays I had at home. Liz and I knew there had to be a better way to save time on grading without sacrificing student growth.
As teachers, we yearn to teach our students how to think outside the box, how to think critically, and how to be lifelong learners. We utilize teaching strategies we learned in our credential programs, and we are constantly searching for ways to be more effective and meaningful teachers. However, how many of us yearn for a way to have a better work-life balance, but no means of making that happen without sacrificing our quality of teaching?
Our desire to find research-backed, time-saving grading strategies fueled our deep dive into the research surrounding this field of study. This video series is a culmination of our research and experience, a way to provide teachers of all subjects valuable insight into not only winning back precious time in their lives, but also providing feedback to students in a way that will truly help them learn. You've probably heard of the quiet quitter trend encompassing the global workforce. The idea is that employees are fed up with the hustle mentality and are beginning to quietly step back and accomplish only what their job descriptions entail. Nothing more and nothing less.
Many different articles have different interpretations of whether or not this is a positive trend. It seems to be positive for the employees who are wanting to improve the state of their mental health, but negative for the employer who needs employees who are invested in their jobs. The focus of most of these quiet quitter articles is solely on the person who wants to scale back. But what about the students? What about their learning goals and their educational environment?
Our entire argument is based on research that provides effective grading strategies to help reduce teacher burnout, while also providing effective feedback that helps students grow academically in a way that positively affects their mental health. Schools and districts can get ahead of this quiet quitter mentality by showing teachers that they can develop healthy boundaries in a positive way for both the teacher and the students. That is the heart of what our program is all about.
I don't know about you, but no one taught me how to give student feedback in my credential program. I didn't take a course on how to grade student papers. I never received instruction on the type or manner of feedback to provide, and I was never taught that there might be better methods than what my high school teachers and college professors used.
In fact, my first few years of teaching, I graded the exact way that my high school teachers graded me. Because I'd heard that grading essays for hours and hours outside of the classroom is just part of the gig, I never really questioned that there could be a better way. When I assigned a piece of writing, I'd lug the papers home, spend my evenings reading them and marking all of the mistakes my students needed to fix, and then I'd pass them back whenever I was done grading them. If I had time in the unit I was teaching, which I often didn't, I'd try to have students revise their essays. But then a revision meant even more grading and more scoring. And who in the world has time to grade a piece of writing a second time when the other pieces of writing are starting to pile up? After I settled into my job teaching high school English, I started to question my feedback methods. Did students even read what I wrote? And if they did they understand it? Were they even using it? Why was I spending my precious hours every week marking papers that students weren't even using to improve? I started to experiment. I would meet with students and talk about some of the feedback. So often they were confused by something I said or just didn't know how to fix it or why they needed to fix it. This meant even more time explaining what they needed to improve. What a vicious cycle.
We're here to tell you that there is a better way. It's possible to save time grading without sacrificing the progress of your students. In fact, the foundation of our argument is that it is more beneficial for your students if you apply these time-saving strategies for the sake of both their academic improvement and their mental health. To do this, we'll be using the acronym STEP, S-T-E-P. Our goal throughout this series is to help you step out of teacher burnout and step into grading freedom. We can't wait to share everything we have to offer and help you take a step in the right direction. The grading method is not just for English teachers. These strategies can be applied by any teacher who assesses student writing.
Does this sound too good to be true? Keep listening and you tell us.